Welcome. This is the final exam of School Organization and Students Diversity by Katharina Wiedenmann. Block 1. I'd like to present a development plan designed to strengthen inclusion, community trust, and balance digital learning at Friedensschule Augsburg. Friedensschule Augsburg is a public primary school in a multicultural district of Augsburg, Germany. It serves about 320 students from grades 1 to 4. Over 60% of the students come from multilingual or migrant backgrounds, and the school also supports children with special educational needs, particularly in the areas of language acquisition, learning difficulties, and socio-emotional development. The name Friedensschule, or Peace School, reflects Augsburg's historic identity as a city of peace and symbolizes the school's core values: inclusion, diversity, and respectful coexistence. The school's dedicated staff includes general educators, special education, and language support teachers, and social workers. However, resources are stretched. One of the main challenges is addressing a broad spectrum of students' needs while navigating limited capacity and differing family views on digital learning. To respond to these challenges, we propose 5 key development measures. First, we recommend establishing a Family Voices Advisory Council. This council would include representatives from the school's culturally and linguistically diverse parent body. Its purpose is to involve families in shaping school policy, particularly in areas like digital tool use, educational materials, and rules. This approach is supported by Article 74 of the Bavarian Education Act, which encourages parental participation. The council would involve families, school leadership, and possibly interpreters or cultural mediators. By promoting open dialogue, this measure helps build trust, strengthen communication, and reflect the school's inclusive values. Second, we propose implementing personalized learning using digital assistive tools. Many of our students need individualized support due to learning differences or language development. Inclusive technologies like voice dictation or audiobooks can help make the curriculum more accessible. These measures supports differentiated instruction and is in line with the UN Convention of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, as well as Bavaria's framework for special needs education. It affects students, special education teachers, and classroom educators, and fosters equity by allowing students to learn at their own pace and on their own terms. Third, we suggest offering multilingual family workshops to strengthen communication with families, especially those facing language barriers. These workshops, supported by Germany's National Integration Plan and Diversity Guidelines, help explain school practices in a clear and accessible way. By offering sessions in multiple languages and including practical demonstrations, the school can better connect with parents and support their involvement. This measure affects parents, translators, and school staff and enhances relationships by reducing misunderstandings and building mutual trust. Fourth, we recommend ensuring inclusive access to technology. Socioeconomic differences mean not all families can provide their children with digital devices or reliable internet access. This measure would ensure equitable participation through loan programs or support for home connectivity. It aligns with the federal Digitalpakt Schule and principles of educational fairness outlined in the Bavarian Education Act. Involving families, school IT personnel, and maybe outside partners, the project would strengthen the school's dedication to support and equity while helping to reduce the digital divide. Lastly, we propose creating screen-free zones and periods during the school day. This measure responds to parental concerns about excessive screen time and promotes a balanced, mindful approach to technology. This practice is in line with the Standing Conference of Ministers of Education's recommendations on media, education, and digital health, even though it has not been mandated by law. In addition to directly involving teachers and kids, it improves relationships with families by showing the school's commitment to well-being and innovation. In conclusion, these 5 coordinated measures reflect the values of Friedensschule Augsburg: diversity, equity, inclusion, and responsibility. Together, they aim to create a more inclusive, balanced, and future-ready learning environment. Block 2. As a principal, designing an effective school timetable is not just about organization, it's a reflection of leadership. The way we structure time directly affects student learning, teacher collaboration, and school culture. My approach combines key strategies with leadership principles that help manage complexity and promote long-term school improvements. First, I would prioritize a strong focus on core subjects like literacy and mathematics. This reflects instructional leadership where academic success is at the center. Ensuring these subjects are consistently taught across all grades supports high learning standards and clear progression for students. Second, I would include time for targeted support and differentiation. This aligns with transformational leadership, which emphasizes equity and care for individual student needs. By setting aside time for small group work or interventions, we support all learners without sacrificing instructional quality. Third, planning based on teaching hours and staff availability shows strategic and transactional leadership. School leaders must use resources wisely. Creating an efficient timetable within existing constraints helps balance educational goals with operational realities. Fourth, I would build in scheduled collaboration time for teachers. This reflects distributed leadership, which values teamwork and shared responsibility. Regular co-planning sessions help align instruction and build a strong professional culture across departments. Finally, I would introduce flexible blocks for interdisciplinary learning. This demonstrates the visionary aspect of transformational leadership. By creating space for project-based and cross-subject learning, we foster creativity, engagement, and 21st century skills like problem-solving and critical thinking. Together, these 5 strategies support both student achievement and teacher growth while addressing the complex demands of school leadership. Block 3. Several components of the diversity care plan described in the region of Murcia's model become especially important in a school setting with students who have unique requirements connected to intellectual disabilities. Here's how inclusive teaching methods and practical learning strategies could be implemented within the classroom. One of the most essential components is the implementation of specific measures. These are created for students who need individualized educational responses. Learning objectives and instructional strategies are modified with an individualized education plan to meet the needs of the students with intellectual disabilities. They may additionally require help from teaching assistants, more time to finish assignments, or learning materials in an easier language. Ordinary measures are equally important and provide the foundation for everyday inclusive practices in the classroom. These include instructional strategies that are adaptive and flexible for every student. For instance, to enable students with intellectual disabilities to actively engage in lessons, a teacher can use visual aids, practical exercises, or group projects. Another critical aspect is the organization of internal and external resources. This indicates that various experts collaborate to help the pupil. Regular communication is necessary between classroom instructors, school counselors, speech therapists, and special education teachers. Families have a significant role as well. Moreover, the monitoring, review, and evaluation process plays a key role in ensuring the effectiveness of the diversity care plan. Teachers and support staff should regularly check the students' progress. After that, they can decide if the support strategies are effective or require modification. Using this in a primary school classroom, a learning activity could look like this. The activity is titled Let's Recycle, and the goal is to help the students recognize different types of recyclable materials like paper, plastic, glass, metal through a hands-on inclusive sorting game. The students work in small mixed ability groups to sort various everyday objects in color-coded recycling bins. To ensure accessibility, the activity uses clear visual supports, real-life objects, and simplified instructions with step-by-step guidance. Teaching assistants provide additional help as needed, and alternative communication methods, such as picture boards or AAC devices, are available for non-verbal students. This activity reflects the diversity care plan by combining general inclusive strategies with specific supports that address the individual needs of students with intellectual disabilities, ensuring their equal and active participation. A 9 out of 10 because I was almost always present in class, consistently participated in discussions, and took an active role in group work. I also put a lot of effort into the final exam and can genuinely say I learned a lot from the course. The most crucial idea I've learned is that effective organization is the foundation of a successful school. It impacts everything from daily learning environment to long-term educational outcomes. I also realized that there is no one-size-fits-all approach. Each person and each school must find the type of organization that works best for them. At the same time, overly rigid structures can become barriers instead of supports. I hadn't fully considered how deeply school culture and leadership styles influence organizational success. I thought it was mostly about schedules, roles, or physical space, but now I see that trust, communication, and shared vision are just as essential, if not more. The most important idea I've learned is that attention to diversity isn't just about recognizing differences, it's about actively adapting educational practices to ensure inclusion, equity, and success for our students. Every learner has unique needs and backgrounds, and schools and teachers must be flexible and responsive to that reality. Before this course, I understood diversity in a more abstract way. Now I see its real implications in school organization, curriculum design, teacher training, and classroom management. I'm more conscious of how systems can either support or exclude students, and how small adjustments can make a huge difference in equity and access. While preparing the video, I realized how much I've learned throughout the course regarding school organization and attention to diversity. I also learned how to present information in a creative and engaging way. It was a good challenge to decide what content was most important and how to communicate it clearly and effectively within a short amount of time.